Well, KwaZulu-Natal Premier Nomusa Dube-Ncube will today launch the Smart Farming Project, the Ukulinga Smart and Research Farm. The project is part of Smart Province efforts to boost food security and grow the economy using, of course, technology while seeking solutions to problems such as climate change. Well, for more on this, let's speak to the Premier herself, who will be unveiling the project later this morning. Premier Dube-Ncube, thank you so much for your time and thank you for joining us on the Weekend Report this morning. You know, technology has been making strides in agriculture and farming for years, and I think in the last 2 years there's been a real aggressive push to bring about smart farming in South Africa. Clearly KZN wants to take the reins and lead the charge.
Yes, thank you very much, Ntokozo. We are very excited about the project that we are doing, where we are really revolutionizing farming to increase productivity through using drone technology to water the crops, to monitor pesticides in the fields, but also ensure that access to markets, but also the effectiveness, because one of the areas that have been disadvantaging many of our farmers is competitiveness with other countries or with other provinces. So we believe that the use of technology in the farming would really assist us as a province in improving our yield, but also to get our farmers to be export ready, because we have been talking to a lot of investors with a view of really getting our farmers out there to compete with the rest of Africa.
Right, right. So obviously we're making these great gains, this aggressive push, but when we look at the South African context, Premier, we know that we have a very sort of dualistic system where we've got, you know, major commercial players playing in the farming and agricultural sector, but we also have farmers who practice farming for subsistence purposes. So who stands to benefit from the Smart Farming Project?
Well, in our Smart Farming Project, we are going to be benefiting about 5,000 smallholder farmers in our regions. The innovation solution that incorporates the state-of-the-art technology, because as you would correctly know, but also as you say, our farmers in the rural areas, even in the township areas, have not been able to really understand how they can use technology to boost their yields. So that is one of the exciting things. We are working with the University of KwaZulu-Natal, who are helping us in this project. It includes, as I said, automated irrigation, crop monitoring, automated, harvesting, pack houses as well that we are building as a government. The aim really is to try and say to our people, yes, we can. I mean, the food prices are very high these days. And in order for us to fight the high food prices, we need to ensure that at least, no matter how small our gardens are, no matter how small our farms are, but they are productive, so that we can then be able to sell some of the goods that we would not be using for our whole household. In the next couple of years, the agricultural sector is set to become even more important than ever before, as it will need to meet the demands of the growing population. We've seen, the growing population, but also, as I say, the high food prices. And that is why, for us, the agribusiness are turning to the Internet of Things, but also that is why we are introducing our people to the use of technology in our farming.
Yeah. We know, Premier, obviously that agriculture is not without its challenges. Of course, it has its positives, but it's not without its challenges. We have a looming El Nino weather phenomenon that's coming up where, largely is going to be characterized by high temperatures, low rainfall, that is expected to have a negative cascading effect on the sector that we're discussing today. The Smart Farming Project, this is the beauty about technology. Is there a way that we can buffer farmers from the effects of bad weather like this El Nino?
Definitely. That is why we are using this smart farming, because we also use a lot of tunnels, because in those tunnels, they will be able to be shielded from those bad weather patterns that changes all the time. But also some of these tunnels are able to be automated so that they are able to close whenever, those crops need dark, spaces, but also if they need natural light, they're able to open them. And all of these are implemented with the support of us as government, because the issue is that we've seen, you are correctly saying, in KZN in particular, our weather patterns have really been bad, from very hot to very rainy seasons. You would see just now we're experiencing, rainfalls, which was not a norm before. And in that case, that is why then the use of tunnels assist a lot, so that even if there are heavy rains, at least with the tunnels, they are able to close them, but also some of these tunnels, they go in stacks and they're not on the ground. So the crops then will be saved in that regard. We are also, introducing even farming even for people that lives in the flats, because we have, been talking about sustainable living, which says, even your cartons, your cardboards, your milk, cartons can actually, you can actually plant your spinach there, even your cabbage from your 2-liter bottles, if you cut them, and those are all the things that we are really trying to show our people how easy it is to grow your own little things, but also how easy it is that for us as well to expand that, so that then it becomes not just subsistence farming, but we even get to the commercial farming.
Whenever we think automation, of course, we think power supply, and we cannot ignore the fact that South Africa is in the grips of a power supply crisis that is expected to get worse as we head into the winter months. Has the project found a means of sort of mitigating the impact of our power crisis on a lot of the work that's going to be conducted by farmers taking part in this project? Those small holdings that you mentioned earlier.
Yes, all of our tunnels, most of our project comes with the solar systems, with the battery system that is able to store the power. So that whenever, they need to then maybe utilize those automated mechanisms that I was speaking about, such as maybe opening the tunnel or closing the tunnels, or maybe even needing the heat to be stored, so that as we get to winter, there are crops that might need a little bit of warmth. At least with these solar that we have. All of that is made possible. And we are glad that we've also been teaching our people about other alternative, power supplies, such as the biogas, such as the cow dung, and all of those really are part of us introducing the sustainable living, but also getting into the real serious business of smart farming, but also of getting to be commercial farmers, whether you are small scale or large scale. We know that as we are going to be hosting BRICS as South Africa, there is a number of agreements that are going to be signed along the agriculture. So we are really getting our farmers to even be export ready, so that come the time of signing, we are ready to even start with our international trading partners.
All right, Premier, thank you so much. We are going to leave it there for now. That was KZN Premier Nomusa Dube-Ncube taking us there through that smart farming project that is launching today.